Hey everyone. So the first thing we want to do is set up the full background items. That would be our ceiling and our floor. Everything gets layered in front of those because everything goes on the floor, in front of the ceiling, whatever it might be. We're going to set up our ceiling as sort of a background. So if we go to our design tab up here at the top, the design tab, and set up a background, the ceiling will be basically anywhere there is not already something covering it. So that'll be the background. We're just going to solid fill with something that's not full white because usually our ceilings have a little bit of more visibility to them. So I'm going to set mine to maybe a light gray. You could do a light gold. I actually like this kind of very pale yellow. Whatever you want. Usually something light colored for ceilings is always good. I'm going to stick with this very light gray color. And then I can have that already applied. If I wanted to apply it to every slide in the slideshow, this apply to all button is here. But it's already set to this slide. It's the only one I really care about right now. There is my ceiling. It is the general background. There are other options for backgrounds that we'll learn about another day, but these are very similar controls to other ones in the program that you might come across other times. So if you already knew how to do a gradient for a shape or a texture fill for a shape, you know how to do it for your background as well. Speaking of which, we're now going to put in our floor. Our floor is going to be a simple shape. So we need to put it in, insert, and then conveniently right here is shapes. Now I just need a large area covered. A rectangle is best for this because I just want to mark the line where the ceiling and the floor stop. You won't see this line ever because the walls will get in between, but I just want to have an idea of where I will have the floor visible to. It should be about halfway. If your shape goes off the screen of the slide, that's fine. It just won't be visible when you make your shape. But when I put that in, I click Insert, Shapes, and I pick rectangles. These are different types of rectangles, but the first one is the very basic, usual rectangle. I click on that. Now if I just click, it puts in a square shape and I can change the size of it by pulling on these dots. But if I insert shape, click on rectangle, and then I have this control and I click and drag, I can build my shape size and shape right where I am. So I'm going to move it over so it covers most of the screen. Now I want to fill this in with something that looks like a floor. This blue color does not look like a floor. What I'm going to use is a texture fill, because usually floors have some kind of texture, whether they're wood or they are carpet. So that's going to be a shape fill. The shape fill control is on the drawing tools format menu. Now if I click off of that shape, that menu disappears from up here. It only appears when there's something that I need to format is selected. So if I select this rectangle, that menu becomes an option. I can still click away from it and use the other menus while this is selected. That menu is still there. But that's where I mostly want to spend my time when I'm working on this shape, is this drawing tools format option. Right here is the most important section, shape fill. This is what colors and designs go inside the shape and fill up the shape. This is how you pick any generic full color, is these different colors. If I wanted more options, I can click more fill colors. So if I wanted my floor to be purple, I could choose that purple. If I wanted it to be a slightly lighter purple, I can come to this custom, drag it and pull that, okay, and it applies that purple. Today that's not the fill we're going to want though. We're going to use a texture fill. Now texture is down here at the bottom and it gives me these options of things that look like they have texture. There's something that you would be able to feel, you know what they feel like from the look of them. There's a cork that looks like a bulletin board. There's several wood options. These ones look a little like carpet. This one in particular looks very carpety, but it's actually granite. You can pick any one of these you would like for your floor. It wouldn't look very realistic if your floor was plastic or paper bag or a water droplets, but I'm going to let you guys choose. I'm personally going to choose this blue carpeting because it says denim, but it looks like blue carpet to me. It looks like something you would have in a bedroom, so I'm going to click on that. So that fills in the whole shape. The outline here is causing a very distinct divide between the ceiling and the floor. This might not cause a problem eventually because this will be covered, but why don't we just learn how to change the outline while we're here. The outline is the lines that go around it. So I'm going to make mine really thick so it's really easy to see it I'm going to make it a different color so it's easier to spot. So these black lines here are the outline. If I change the shape outline through this menu, it looks very much like the shape fill menu, but there's a few different options. Just like that one I just used, the weight. This is how thick your outline is. If you want it just to be a thin line, you choose the low ones. Higher up, you get a bigger line. I could make my lines look a little more interesting. I'm going to choose my thick line by clicking on dashes and give it some more options, some dots. There are more options than that. These are the most standard ones. If you want to click on more lines and explore that, you are welcome to. But for this shape, because it's our floor, we don't want to see this, we're going to click no outline. That way, once the shape ends, there's nothing marking the end of it. It just ends. So that is how we do our floor and our ceiling. That is background, inserting a shape and filling that shape or modifying the outline. Those tools are going to come in handy a lot. I'll review them quickly in later videos, but this is kind of the introduction to those. And if you forget how to do them, you can always come back and look at this video.